Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a quick and simple pool with a water slide, 2 lounging areas, and a changing room. Here are all of the materials that you will need to make the build. Begin by placing a single yellow concrete, and then one behind it, and then above, and then behind, up by 2, 1, 2, and then behind by 1, up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect this 5th block down to the ground using birch fence. Just like this. Then we want to leave a gap of 2 coming across, and we want to replicate the row of birch fence that we just placed. So, simply 2 rows away, make the exact same thing. Opposite the row of yellow concrete that we have created, we want to have the exact same copy of yellow concrete, simply, once again, 2 rows away. So we want to have 2 parallel rows of yellow concrete that'll end up looking a little something like this. So we now want to place some blue concrete behind the yellow concrete. The blue concrete wants to be placed in such a way that it sits behind each row of yellow concrete like this. It doesn't really want to directly touch the yellow concrete, and the blue concrete also wants to extend backwards until it once again just touches it diagonally. It doesn't even actually touch it, but you guys get the idea, the birch fence that we have. We then want to extend the blue concretes down to the ground like this, and this is going to be how we get up and down our slide. If we place a couple of rows of ladders just like this, and then up at the very top of the slide, we can kind of cut this area in half a little bit by leaving 2 rows, and then placing a row of stairs like this. So this is how we will get up and into the slide, and that is pretty much the slide itself complete. So we now want to grab ourselves some smooth quartz slabs, take the right side of the bottom of the slide, which is here, and we want to place a quartz slab extending out from it, specifically smooth. Extend left 1 toward you, left by 3, 1, 2, 3, extend towards you by 7. However, we want to dig into the ground now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to be replacing this with quartz. You can do it as we go along or at the end. Extend to the left by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we can just fill all of that in. Now, we want to place a single quartz extending forwards, followed by then a smooth quartz stairs in the ground. We then want to dig 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll opt to fill that in now. Extend the 8th block to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. And once again, I'll opt to fill that in. The last block, the 3rd block, place a quartz slab on top. And then extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right 1, up 1, right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down, right, down. So, let's take a look at what we've managed to make. This is the shape that we should have. So, this shape is ever so slightly more complicated in that we want to further extend this row of quartz slab here. This is the original row of quartz slab that we placed. Further extend inwards by 1. We then want to dig into the ground. 1, 2. Up 1. Left 1. Up 1. Now, we want to replace these blocks with smooth quartz block like this. We want to mark out these areas specifically because we're going to dig out this area here. So this is the first pool that we have. when I say pool, it's kind of like, it is all one big pool, but this is like one half of the first pool. This is where we will first of all dunk into. So I'm actually going to dig 2 rows down. So we've taken the top layer off, but the idea is that we want to have a glazed terracotta for the bottom of the pool. And this isn't necessary. If you want, and it does integrate quite nicely, you can use blue concrete for the pool base, because obviously it will further enhance the blueness of the water, which is cool and all, and it will kind of like blend the slide into the pool as well. But I'm not going to do that, but I am going to dig this block out here, replace this using blue concrete. If you like, you can kind of like add an end to the slide, replace underneath the yellow concretes with, well, yellow concretes, and then dig out underneath all of these quartz blocks. So these are going to be replaced with quartz. I said dig out the quartz blocks, but what I meant was dig out the grass and replace it with quartz. So here, dig out all this, all the quartz, and this is going to be water. And what I'm now going to do is I am going to dig out this row of quartz that we placed, and I'm going to replace it using quartz slab like this, right? So water will go on top of here, and what I want is for the end pool, and once again, it's all the same pool, but the second half of the pool, I want this to be deeper than the first. So we kind of get kind of like a waterfall effect, which I really like. So we have to dig further down this time. We should have to dig out 3 rows in total. We had to dig out 2 rows for the first. So this row, and by the way, feel free to make it deeper if you like. I have a limit as I'm building in a super flat world, a classic super flat. I never edited it, and I don't think I had the option to at the time, but we want to simply fill all of this in using the terracotta. The important part is it doesn't matter how low you go, it's important that it's lower than the previous layer though. So we then want to dig out all of the grass or dirt, or I don't know what, maybe you guys have some sort of like weird custom world where you have some just like strange materials built into the land, or maybe you're just in a survival world and, you know, there's, I don't know, diorite here. Imagine having like a diorite super flat world. That would be interesting. So, we placed a stair here earlier. This is how we get out. I'm going to place birch fence on either side, just like this. The next thing that we have to do is we kind of have to work out the terrain a little bit. So I'm just going to get rid of everything that we have, and we will be needing it again, but oak planks will need terracotta. We're also going to, we will definitely be using the smooth quartz block, so we will re-grab that, and let's just leave it at that for now. So we want to have a row of 2 leading from the end of this pool area here. I want to dig out at least a row of 2. We're just going to start with a row of 2, leading out from the front of the pool, going all the way around to the right of the pool, just behind this pool here too, so just like this. And then the same path, like using the same sort of logic of leaving a gap of 2 or like digging out a gap of 2, we want to extend across the side of the pool here, and we want to dig towards the stairs. Now, I'll show you in just a moment, now that we've kind of finished that, what that'll look like. Perfect. Now, this might look a little bit weird now. You might be looking at this and thinking like, ah, that looks gross. But we are going to sort this. I don't know why you'd say gross, but I don't know. That's the first word that came to mind. Probably because I was thinking about having like a super flat world of diorite for some weird reason. Not my favorite. So we can have this all filled in using oak planks. Feel free to change the planks into like birch. Birch works nicely as well. And this is what we want to have, which is all fine and well, except we want to extend this oak plank area outwards a little bit. Okay, so for the next step, we are going to extend the area here to the right by 3 rows. So 1, 2, 3. And let's just mark this out, because we also want to extend the back part of this area outwards by 3 rows as well. So 1, 2, 3, and this will get dug all the way to the right. So you can see the shape that we have here. Well, we also want to join it together in the corner as well to kind of create a square. And I guess it might just be easier if we just kind of like fill the outside of this in using oak planks just like this. Kind of sets the scene. And then we will dig out all of the inside of this area and replace it with oak planks. Birch planks looks nice as well. I like planks rather than a concrete just because it messes with the actual like textures a little bit rather than just having just smooth plain blocks, as we kind of have. The same reason that I like the glazed terracotta. And now that we have done this, we are going to dig a little bit more. So this is going to be kind of like the entrance, so to speak, of the just the little pool area that we have. So I'm going to replace these oak planks here with quartz blocks. I'm going to extend 1 block forwards, dig 2 to the right and place oak planks, and then I'm going to dig the outside of the entire area here. Like, I'm just going to dig all the way around here. And when I say that, when I dig all the way around here, I mean all the way around the oak planks, just like this. And I also want to dig just underneath here, just the inside of the oak planks, and I'm going to connect it back to the slide. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm just kind of like setting up the area for the pool. So it just looks a little bit better, in my opinion, just to have kind of like things set out. Like it just seems to put like a nice top on things. So there we go. Hopefully you see what I mean. Like, it just seems a little bit better. Now we're going to dig underneath the water slide as well. We might have to add another row of quartz, and I want to connect the 2 rows of blue concrete together using oak planks. And on the opposite side here, I'm going to dig this row out and replace it with quartz. I think it just, once again, I think it just looks a little bit nicer just to clean it up a bit. Next up, we're going to use the terracotta, and I want to place a row of terracotta that goes all the way around pretty much the entire left side of the build, and it wants to be form-fitting. It comes all the way up the long left side, and it stops pretty much like at the back here. So I just like this part open. And I'm going to add another row of terracotta on top. And once again, this is just about like defining areas. I mean, it's all fine and well just having this out in the open. You're more than welcome to do it. Add it to a back garden, something like that. But I do like it when there's just these walls. It makes it look a little bit more refined. Okay, so next up, we have to decorate the pool a little bit. So the grass block we didn't have originally, so it doesn't really fit. But I want to grab the quartz stairs, smooth quartz slabs, scaffolding, flower pots, lanterns, end rods, both colour beds, yellow and blue, and some yellow wool. So, on the right side of the pool, we're going to have a couple of loungers. Basically, from each end of the pool, you want to extend inwards one, and then like out one. So kind of like in one, and then leave a gap of one like this, and stick yourself a quartz slab, one behind it, and then a stair behind that. So 2 slabs and a stair. So I'm going to place end rods next to the left side of the ends of the stairs, and I want 2 of them in total. I'm going to have scaffoldings at the sides of the beds, and I'm just going to decorate them. So a flower pot and a lantern will do nicely. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to create a row of wool or solid blocks around the top of the end rods. And the reason for that is that we might have to replace the pot because it won't let us place it otherwise. And we want to place alternating yellow and light blue beds at the top with a yellow or light blue wool at the very top. And these are basically just parasols. Let me replace that flower pot. And it's just a little parasol, and I mean, that's all there is to it. And we want to have the same thing just here as well. So again, if we have the yellow wool, so do feel free to replace the yellow with a blue one for like this one. So just in case you want a little bit of variation, you just want it to be a little bit different, that's all we're going to do. So perfect. That is looking pretty good. So the next thing that we're going to do is on this side here of the pool. I want another lounging area, but I want it to be a bit different. So basically red shulker box, white banner, red carpet, white carpet. With this strip of quartz here, using the same principle of like moving inwards one and leaving a gap of one, we're going to place 2 red carpets extending back with a white carpet behind it. So 2 red and a white. And then in between these, I'm going to place a red shulker box. And all the way around the red shulker box, I'm simply going to place white banners that bed into the ground. And it just looks like a ball to me, like just some sort of like beach ball. Feel free to change the colors, a couple of lounging beds, and you can see how this is shaping up rather nicely. So the last major thing that we're going to be adding is a couple of changing rooms. These are very easy to make. It's made out of white concrete, red concrete, oak doors. We'll probably need the oak planks, perhaps even the smooth quartz block. Definitely need the smooth quartz slabs and some oak trapdoors as well. So the positioning for these is rather easy. This corner area here where we kind of like have the lounging beds, this corner, move right one, place a white concrete. Moving right, oak door, white concrete. Red concrete, oak door, red concrete. White concrete, door, white concrete, red concrete. There you go. We want to extend these blocks backwards, so it's up to you how you do it. Like, you can extend them backwards in a solid block, and they want to be 4 rows long, by the way. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want, like, you can extend them all backwards like this, or you can alternate, like you can have red, white, like a checkered pattern. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, we just have to change things, and it does kind of like work out. Like, you can extend the checkered pattern all the way to the back. Now, the walls of these are only going to be 2 rows high, and then we're just going to stick, but I'm just extending up the entire walls using the red and white concrete in the checkered pattern as we discussed. I'm quite happy as well to leave the floor underneath the doors as quartz. I think that that's fine. It highlights the door a little bit, and it's only really visible with the doors open, so I don't think it's particularly a big deal. And inside of these, it's up to you what wall material you want to use, to be quite honest, but, oh, Mr. Black here, but all that's important is that you have the door space to walk in and a space to the right. So I'm going to fill in these walls, how we've been pretty much making the entire rest of the walls, in that I'm having like the alternating pattern. And then quite simply, I'm going to have smooth quartz slabs across the top of these, just like this. They'll extend all the way over to the front, and then that will be that. I actually do think that I'm going to replace underneath all of the doors using oak planks, because it's just a nice finishing touch. It does look better. And then when it comes to the inside of these, I mean, these are exceptionally easy to make. We just need 2 more materials that we don't currently have on us, but will have been in the item list. We need armor stands and tripwire hooks. So in here, oak trapdoor, armor stand in the corner, tripwire hook, everything one would need to get changed. And we want to have this in every single one of them. So armor stand, tripwire hook, trapdoor. That's it. So here, here, and here. Perfect. And some of these you can leave open, or maybe have like one of them closed. Like something like that I think looks pretty good. Or maybe have like this end one open and then this one closed. You're really getting into a little minutia that doesn't even matter. But you know, that's sort of what I'm about. Last but not least, what do we want to have? I want to have kind of like a floaty, a rubber ring, a rubber dinghy, some might say. I don't think it's a dinghy, it's a rubber ring. And I need some water as well. We had just about all of the materials that we needed. So just over off here to the side, I like the idea of having just like a quartz slab, smooth redstone slab, quartz slab, smooth red sandstone, and there you go. That's just like a rubber ring that you can kind of like float in. Might even be a dinghy. I genuinely, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on what to call them, but we have to add water all the way up at the top of the slide. So if we add it just behind the stairs, it will drop down nicely into the first pool. And we're going to make the water still in the first pool. We don't want to touch the quartz slabs area yet. Now that it's still, we want to place some water on the quartz slabs, and then fill in the bottom pool here. So just like this. Perfect. If you like, you can add a rubber ring into the pool. Very simple to do. It's the exact same design. As a matter of fact, we'll shift it one more row. It's the exact same design that we just kind of like placed on the outside, just like this. And there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have kind of completed this thing. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.